And action!
It's a good day.
Why is it a good day?
A four-wheeler hit me.
You mean you had a four-wheeler?
No, a four-wheeler hit me. Yeah.
That can't be so.
Absolutely. Four-wheeler bites the dust. I'm sitting there, I was in the number 3 lane. If you don't know what the lanes are, your first one is your curb. 2 is the one that's closer to the center. 3 and 4 are as many lanes as you got to the center of the road. And actually all the way, but it doesn't matter. I was in the number 3 lane. I looked in all of my mirrors, including the one on the nose, and there was nobody there for miles. I keep an eye on my mirrors, and I haven't seen anybody in my mirror for quite some time. So I figured, well, it's a good thing for me to get out of number 3 lane because I don't need to be here. So I go ahead and turn my blinker on, and I start merging over. Still nothing in my mirrors. All of a sudden I hear and smoke, and that's when I noticed a little silver car just above my bug deflector. And I thought, I didn't feel anything. There was no thud, no little nothing. Just. So I started backing her down. I mean, the first thing, obviously, the fuel comes off, and I had my Jake on, so I'm slowing down pretty quick. All I see is her going like this here. And when she finally got far enough away from me, she basically, we're heading northbound. She swerved to face southbound and hit the guardrail. So I book it over to the shoulder, and there's 2 vehicles, a red little import and then a blue older Ford, like early 90s Ford pickup. I go out there and I said, "Did you see what happened?" She said, "The one in the red car, little blonde woman, says, yeah, the silver car was cutting me off and continued over into you, literally into you. And then that's when you made the contact." I'm like, "All right, well, that's good. So you might copy, if I get your information for the company." She's like, "Yeah." And so I talked to the guy that's in the pickup truck. He called the state trooper out. And he said basically the same thing. He didn't see exactly everything about her getting cut off, but he said he saw her moving over as I was merging, and didn't take any warning to me or my signal. And so basically he was saying the same thing that she was saying, because that car just came out of nowhere, and I mean absolutely nowhere. So we're sitting there. I get their information. He gives me his business card and her information and everything, and we're all standing there. We look farther down the highway towards the guardrail, because I wasn't that far. I mean, as long as it takes a truck that's 65,000, 70,000 pounds to stop, and I mean stop. We look back, and there's nothing. Like, traffic is flowing. There's no problem whatsoever. You know, it's like a nice sunny day, basically like it is now. And they say, well, basically they had to go and do stuff, so they left. And I waited for the state trooper to show up. He pulls in behind me. Actually, before he pulls in, I go and get on the CB because I see another truck pass me. And that's the road. So so I get on the CB, ask the trucker if he saw a silver car swooshed up against the guardrail. He said, no, there was nothing. So I said, all right, well, that's good. It's basically considered a hit and run now. And I wait for the cop to show up. He shows up. I said, you didn't happen to see them back there anywhere, did you? He says, no, nobody's back there, so we're considering it a hit and run. He took a look at the damage on my truck and said, well, if it's under, whatever it is, 2,000 or whatever, because we don't file a report or anything like that. So I said, all right, well, he gave me his information, put it with the file and everything. I'm sitting in here calling up the company, letting them know what all's going on, and I gotta check that steer tire. It's kind of thumping now.
I feel that.
It might be the road, I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, good to go.
Triple check everything.
I think that's my steer.
I think it is too. It's very shaky.
Yeah. So, yeah, so anyways, I'm sitting there, I'm calling the company up and everything. Next thing I know, Kelly's like, oh, Sean. Like, another officer's knocking on the window, and he says, well, we found your other vehicle there, you know, farther down there. I'm thinking, well, how the heck did they pass me? So technically, I could still consider it a hit and run because they saw me pull off to the side with the two witnesses. But I think they were a little too shaken up, I'll say. So he says, you know, if you want to follow me over to, you know, the Denny's and we'll take care of this. I said, all right, let's go. I go over there. The other car shows up. I see the damage done to them, and I thought that's pretty much what I thought it was. And this guy here wants to do pretty much the same thing by the looks of it. He's giving room though. So they show up, and the officer gives me the paper, and I start filling it out. I already told him about the witnesses. I gave him all the information. He says, all right, go back to your truck, fill this out. He starts talking with the woman. She's filling out. I filled mine out, went back to him, gave him my information, said, would you mind if I go over and take pictures of her vehicle for the company? And he said, yeah, go ahead, you know. But I figured I'd rather get his permission than get in trouble. You know, because next thing I know, she's going to be yelling at me, saying, what are you doing to my driver? So I figured this way I've got his permission. So I go over to her and I said, I've asked the officer if I can film your or picture your vehicle. I said, feel free to go and take pictures of the truck. So she goes over all and up, starts taking her pictures and everything. And I'm just calmly, I filled up one of them disposable cameras, which is what we're told to do, as well as ones on my digital camera. And so, I didn't write down at the time. So basically, you know, after that, I went back to the truck. I sat there, I waited. He went over, talked to her, and she was in a little bit of a huff, I could tell. But I still didn't know how it was going to play because I'm the professional driver, and under no circumstances, the four-wheelers are never at fault. I'm always the one that's going to be blamed because I should have seen them in my blind spot and la 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 la. That's all that's going through my head. I'm thinking, well, this was a wasted trip because now I've basically lost everything I just worked for today. So I'm just sitting there, I'm freaking getting upset. He comes over and says, well, first of all, she had no insurance, so I can see why she'd be upset to start. And then the next thing I say is, well, you know, no matter who's at fault, hopefully she'll understand that insurance is a good thing. And he said, don't worry, I've held her at fault. He says, by your witnesses and the fact that your witnesses are saying the exact same thing that you are, I you know, held her at fault. And he says, next thing he says is she tried playing the racial card. He says she was a colored lady. So apparently he was trying to play the racist card. So you know, started to put you through that. He said, no, it's nothing you can do. But so now, I mean, when it first happened, all I'm thinking is, holy crap. First of all, I'm thinking, okay, well, there's somebody that's dead. When I see them sliding across, you know, the last thing I see is them going that way in the car and my mirror over here, and I'm thinking, okay, somebody's going to die. The first thing that's going through my head is it's my fault. But it's not. Which is a really good feeling because I hate four-wheelers. And so now I'm just, a part of me kind of wishes I would have done more damage to her, but I'm thankful nobody got injured. I don't know if she got injured or not, but she tried doing the whole let's limp out of here and see what's happening, but apparently the cop didn't take that. So that's my little bit of happy joy on this trip.